Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this video we're working on a nice big comfy cardigan or sweater. This is what we have here, and so you can definitely use any color of your choice. I'm choosing to use this color here. Also the pattern looks a little bit complicated, but it's very easy, so I'll show you step by step on how to do that. And yeah, so and the size of yarn as well, you can choose whatever size of yarn. So with this being a medium weight number 4 DK yarn, it's very nice and bulky, and it's very comfy, which is why I chose to do it with kind of like meshy pattern to it, because that will allow you so you don't boil and burn in your cardigan when you're wearing it. It's a little bit airy as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab everything that we need so we can go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so for this project I'm going to show you all the materials that I'm using for that. And as you can see here, I have my yarn Pound of Love by Lions brand. And what else do we have here? This color is called Quads. And what else do we have here? So it's a medium weight number 4, and recommended hook size is 6mm crochet hook or J10 US. And like I said, it's a 100% premium acrylic. Okay, so you get 16 ounces for a skein like this, or 450 grams, 1020 yards, or 932 meters. Okay, I have 2 of these because we're making a long sweater. So whatever yarn you're using, just make sure you have enough. So with me having to do a big long sweater, it's gonna be 2 of these that I'm gonna need. And yeah, that's for the yarn. For hook size, I am using a 5.5mm crochet hook. I cannot find my 6mm crochet hook, so 5.5 will do. So it's 5.5mm hook, and it's I9 US. I have my scissors here. I have my tape measure, my darning needle, and some stitch markers, okay? So that's all you need for this. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so to get this project started, we're gonna begin by doing our chain, and the chain is gonna be for the length of the sweater. So we're gonna need to work with 5 panels total for this sweater, and we're gonna have the back panel, which is gonna be the largest panel that we're doing, and then we're gonna have 2 panels for the front, and then we're gonna have 2 panels, and 1 will be for each of our sleeves. Okay, now make sure you determine how long you want your sweater to be. As you can see on my at the beginning of the video, my sweater is long, so it goes below my knees. So that is the length of my sweater. If you want your sweater to be even longer, then you're gonna do more chains, and if you want it to be shorter, then you're gonna do less chains. So it depends on the length of your sweater. So determine that, and then go ahead and do multiples of 3 for your chain. Okay, so for me, for the length that I want, I'm going to be doing multiples of 3 until I get to 120. So 120 chains. Okay, so let's start by doing a slip knot just like this. Okay, and now that I have my slip knot, we're going to go ahead and do our chain of 120. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, my lovely, so this is my chain of 120 here. So as you can see, that's how long it is. Okay, now that I have done my chain of 120, we're going to add 2 more chains. So this is going to be our turning chain. So 1, 2, and then from this we're going to work our double crochets. We're going to skip that chain, this chain, and this chain, and in the 4th, so we're skipping 3 altogether. In the 4th, I'm going to do a double crochet going in the back loop of the chain, just like that. Okay, then I'm gonna yarn over, grab the back loop of the chain, and complete a double crochet, and then I'm going to repeat that until I go to all the way to the end of the chain. This is gonna be our first row here. Okay, now keep in mind when I'm talking about the back of the chain, you will see the chain have these V shapes on the front part of it, and when you flip to the back of it, it has these lumps. So what I do is I just yarn over, and as you can see, this is the next stitch to go through here, and I'm just going to grab that back lump like this. Then I'm going to complete my double crochet. The reason I do that is I want this side to continue to have these V stitches as well as this side here, so both sides are even. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this all the way to the end, and then when I finish this row, I'm going to come back to show you how to start the second row. And then the whole project is gonna be a repeat of this row and the next row. So the next two rows are going to be repeat rows. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and complete this, and I'll come back to you when I've reached the end of the chain. So please do the same, come back when you have reached the end of your chain. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed my first row here of the double crochet. So just to kind of put it all in the screen here, so you can see this is how long it is. Okay, so again, it goes from here all the way to here. And now that we have completed our first row, we're going to go ahead and do our second row. Okay, so to go ahead and start our second row, I'm going to do a chain of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and this is going to be how many chains you do for this row, and then you're gonna flip. So every row is gonna have a different number of chains. So this is gonna have 2 chains, this is gonna have 3 chains, and I'll show you why. So after our chain of 3, we're going to turn our work, and this is going to be connected to this stitch right here. So we're going to skip this stitch, and in this third, we're going to go ahead and complete a double crochet like that. And then we're going to go back 1 stitch right here. So we're gonna go in the front like this and complete our second double crochet, but we're going into the previous stitch from the one that we worked here first. Okay, so this one is gonna kind of crisscross. The first stitch is here and the second stitch goes like that. And then we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip this stitch, and in this third we're going to complete a double crochet. And then we're going to go back into this to do our second double crochet. So we're gonna go back and go into that stitch and complete a double crochet like this. Okay, and then we're going to do a chain 1. We're going to yarn over, skip 2 stitches, and in the third complete a double crochet, and then go back and complete your second double crochet in the previous stitch, and then chain 1, and then just repeat. Okay, so just doing a few stitches here, you will start to see how it comes and how it looks when you do this kind of pattern. Okay, so you just go back and you complete that, and as you can see, this is pretty much how it looks like. It's kind of doing like a mesh, but doing a mesh with a style, and this is what you're gonna have. So this chain 3 that we did at the beginning, the first 2 chains count as a double crochet, and then the third chain counts as a chain 1 because we have a stitch that is not worked in right here. Okay, and so we're gonna continue to repeat this all the way until we go across our chains here, and then we're gonna start the third row. So this is our second row, and like I said, these 2 rows that we are working on here, so this row and this row, are the repeat of this whole project. Okay, so go ahead and work this pattern until you get to the end. When you have a few stitches to go at the end here, when you have a few stitches to go, come back to the video and I will show you how to finish off the row and then how to start the next row. Okay, I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my second row here. So as you can see, we began here, and I just worked my row all the way to here. So we're almost at the end, so I wanted you guys to come back so I can show you how to finish it off. So I have already done my chain 1 here, and I'm gonna skip this stitch and this stitch, and in this stitch here I'm gonna do my double crochet, and then I'm gonna go back and complete that second double crochet, crisscrossing it with the first one. Then I'm gonna do a chain 1, and now for this final, I'm going to skip this stitch here, and then on top of the chain 3 that we began the row with, I'm going to complete my final double crochet, just like that. Okay, so you will see that this side here matches our first side, where it's just a double crochet standalone with a chain 1. Okay. Okay, so for the third row, we're going to start by doing a chain of 2. So again, this row here where we do this mesh area, we start by doing a chain of 3. When we do a solid row like this of double crochet, we're going to start with a chain of 2. So after my chain of 2, I'm gonna turn, and then I'm gonna start working my double crochet stitches. So I'll show you, okay? So right in this chain 1 spot, I'm going to complete my second double crochet. And I say second because my first is the chain 2. And then on this stitch here, I'm going to complete a double crochet. And then in this next stitch here, I'm going to complete a double crochet. Because keep in mind, these 2 double crochets here are still stitches. So this is a stitch and that is a stitch. And then in the chain 1 gap, we're going to do a double crochet. And then we're going to do a double crochet on top of the previous double crochet. And then a double crochet in the next. And then, so for the chain 1 gap, I just go right underneath to complete my double crochet, okay? So I don't go into the stitch itself. I just go right underneath to complete my double crochet. And then I move on and pretty much work across by just doing double crochets. And as you can see, I don't skip a stitch at all, so that at the end, we still have the exact same number of stitches as we did previously, okay? So just go ahead and work this all the way across. And when you have a few stitches to go, come back to the video and I will show you how to finish that row off. And then I will have you guys work, pretty much repeat the same as this next, and then another row of double crochet row, and then another row of the mesh. But for now, I just want to show you guys how to finish this row, and then we will go ahead and work on the rest of it, okay? I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my 3rd row here, as you can see. And now I'm all the way at the end where I told you to come back so I can show you how to finish this row off. So I've just done my double crochet here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my next double crochet on top of that stitch, and then another double crochet on top of that stitch. And now for this final, so we know that the 3rd chain here is a double crochet, is a stitch. So we're gonna do a double crochet just underneath that. And then finally, we're gonna go on top of the chain 2 to complete our final double crochet, okay? So that's how it's gonna look like at the end here, all right? So now that you have finished that, the next row is gonna be the row of the meshes here. So you're going to start by doing a chain of 3 and then turning, okay? And then you're going to skip this stitch, and in the 3rd stitch here, you're going to complete your double crochet. Okay, and then you're going to pivot back and go do another double crochet in the previous stitch, okay? And then chain 1, skip these 2 stitches in the 3rd stitch, go ahead and complete your double crochet, and then go back into the previous stitch and complete a double crochet. Chain 1, skip these 2 stitches in the 3rd, complete your double crochet, and then go back to that previous stitch and do a double crochet. Chain 1, and then again, as you can see, you just repeat this until the end. And remember, at the end here, you're going to have these double crochets. You're going to do a double crochet here. You're going to skip this stitch and then do a chain 1, skip this stitch, and then do a double crochet right on top here, just like we did this section here. So there was 2 stitches left. After you do your chain 1, you skip this stitch and you do a double crochet at the end, okay? So continue to work your stitches until you have the size that you want, the width of the sweater that you would like, okay? So what I do is I measure the widest part of my top, the top of my body. So normally just across my bust, I measure across that and I go from armpit to armpit, okay? So I just literally put it across my my bust, and then I go and I place these under my armpit on one side, and then I move it until I get to my armpit on the other side. So that's gonna be the size of, or the width of the back panel. And then you're gonna incorporate a couple of inches if you want it to be loose. So if you want your sweater to loose, so let's say it comes up to 18 inches from armpit to armpit from the front, and this is obviously gonna be a tight fit, If you want to incorporate some looseness, you can go to 20 inches, you can go to 21 inches, 22 inches, however you want to then incorporate the rest of the size like that, okay? So with these here, you're going to work your rows until you come to whatever number that is, whether it's 16 inches or 17 or 18. You're going to work until your width get to that size, and then come back to the video. I'm going to do the same, and then I'll come back to the video, okay? I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and worked the width that I want for my sweater here. So as you can see, this is the length of it, like this, but it's gonna be more pretty much like this, because this is gonna be the back panel of our sweater, okay? So the length of it here is the length that we created when we did our chain of 120. So this is what the length of it is, and then the width is what I built up, okay? So we began here, and then I worked it all the way up like this. In terms of the number of rows that I have here, first of all, let's work with the width. So I'm just gonna measure the width of my work here. So it's about 20 inches. But when I go and put, let's bring it in here like this. So, but when I go ahead and when I put this, measure myself from bust to bust, for example, just like I told you guys to do in the bust, and then from armpit to armpit, it comes to about 18 inches, about a little bit over 18 inches, but then I just added a little bit, not too much, to get to that 20 inches, okay? So that is what I have. And for the width, I cannot fit, for the length, sorry, I cannot fit everything on the camera, but I have about 36 inches for the length of it. So this is how long the sweater is so far. We may work some bordering in the bottom that will increase the length a little bit, but for now it's about 36 inches like this. So I have 36 inches like this and 20 inches like this, which is the width of my sweater. Okay, so that is done for the this is done for the back panel. So we need to work with 5 panels all together. The next panel we're gonna do is the 2 front panels. So as I was still offline or off the camera, I did the first one just so I can show you guys what it looks like, okay? So this is one of the front panels that I have already completed. And what I did was I just did the same. I did 120 chains plus 2, and then I worked my double crochets in the bottom, and then I alternated. And so this one of these panels is gonna be what goes in the front like this, okay? So as you can see, it's gonna go in the front like this. The second one is gonna go on this side. So as you can see, this is where this ends, right here. And then I'm gonna do my second one that's gonna go there. So I'm gonna have this gap here as the opening of the front of my sweater. And then we may do some kind of bordering here just to kind of clean it up and make it look nice, okay? But this is pretty much my first front panel completed. So I didn't come to show you how to do it because it's literally the exact same as this, except in this, the back panel, I didn't show you how many rows. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 37 rows for the back panel here. And as you can see, I started with the row of double crochet and I finished with a row of double crochet. So that is just as it makes it stay solid and like that. So I have 37 rows here, and for my front panel, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 15 rows. Okay, so 15 rows here. And then I'm gonna have 15 rows for the next one. That's gonna make it 30. We have 37, so we will have 7 stitches in the middle that are not covered until we do our bordering, okay? So go ahead and do your front panels. So again, like I said, just make sure you measure to see how much space you want in the middle, and then you go ahead and do the number of stitches. But what is more important is that you leave a gap in the middle that would be good for you to do a bordering after to kind of bring it closer, okay? So I have done my first front panel here. I'm gonna go ahead and work on my second, and then I will finish that. But I'm gonna show you quickly how I did the how I do the sleeve panels, okay? So I will see you in just a few. Okay, my lovely, so this is one of the sleeve panels that I've already started. So these this project is literally, we're doing the same thing. It just depends on what panel you're doing. It could be a shorter panel like this, or it could be a long panel, it could be a wider panel, it could be a little bit of a narrow panel, okay? So this is one of the sleeves that I've already started, okay? So it helps me to explain to you because I freestyle my work. It helps me to kind of do something, either one of the panels before, so I can show you how I did it and how it looks like. So for this here, which is our one of our sleeve, all I needed to do was use my tape measure to determine the length of my arm. So for you, if you're doing it for yourself by now, if you've crocheted for a while, you probably know the length of your arm. And what I do is I just place the tape measure here. It's a little bit tricky when you're alone. So what I do normally is I make sure my husband is with me or somebody else is with me to just kind of hold the tape measure like right here where I would like my sleeve to go from. And then let's say, for example, right now I cannot show it to you, but then what I will do is I will just move it all the way down to my armpit. And then that will be what gives me my the length of my sleeve. And for me, it's about 18 inches, but in reality, I'm gonna do until it's 20 inches, but because I want to do a little bit of a border for the sleeve in here, I leave about 1.5 to 2 inches that I will end up kind of working my bordering after. Okay, so these 18 inches is if I just do it without any bordering, okay? And then it's gonna be a little bit short. It's gonna kind of land here, but because I want it to kind of go here, then this is the space that I'm leaving to be able to work with after. Okay, so what did I do with the sleeve? Again, after measuring how many inches I want to do, which is the 18 inches, then I decided how many stitches to start with. And I started by doing 60 chains. So I did a 60 chains and then plus the 2 that we use to do the turning chain, okay? So this is 60 chains plus 2. And then I just did the same thing. The first couple of rows, the first row, I just did a row of double crochet. And then I did a row of these like crisscrossing double crochets. And then I did a row of double crochet, crisscross double crochet, and then I just continue like that. So this is so far what I have. Obviously, it's not enough. This is the end of my first skein here. So I'm gonna obviously get the next one and connect. And then what I will do is, the next thing that I do is I measure the width of my arm, and it's gonna be the widest part of my arm. So it's normally on top of my arm, I guess, of my arm, where it's closest to my armpit. That is the widest or the biggest part of my arm. And if I just measure without any wiggle room, it's about 12 inches. But because I want it to be a little bit loose, I will probably kind of push it to about 16, maybe even 18 inches at the end of it for it to be like this loose. Okay, because if it's 14, which is what it is when it's tight, it's that, and this is too tight for me. It will be really tight for my sweater. So I'm probably gonna increase to like about 18 or even 20, so that this is the looseness of my sleeve. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So at the end, I'm gonna work this until it gets to about 18 or 20 inches. Okay, so with all of that explained, so I finished my back panel and I finished one of my sleeves. Oh, sorry, one of my front panel. So now I have my second panel to do, and then I'm gonna do 2 to be exactly the same as this. But when I finish my first, I'm gonna come back to the video to show you how it looks and how wide it is. And then we'll work on the rest of the panels offline. And then when you have all of your 5 panels, you're gonna come back to the video, and we're gonna then now kind of organize it and structure it, and then be able to join everything. Okay, so I'll see you guys when I finish this first panel of the sleeve. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and worked a few more rows, or a lot more rows actually, of the sleeve here. So as you can see, I worked 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 20 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 27 rows altogether. Now what I did was, as I told you guys just a little bit ago, I wanted to do this here to be able to fit the arm. But as I was actually going through it and kind of wrapping it around my arm, it actually looks good like this. And it's actually just the first 14 inches that I told you guys about. and it's because there you go. So it's 14 inches that I need. So I'm not going to increase it to 18 or even 20 because it will be a little bit too loose. And the reason I did this, and I'm going to stop here, is it's going to be loose on my wrist. As you can see, on my wrist here, it's going to be a lot looser. Like this is how it's going to come through my arm here. It's quite loose. But on top, where it's the widest part of my arm, it fits a little bit more snatched. Not too loose or not too loose like this section here, like this section here, but it's not too tight either. So I'm actually okay to just leave it like this, because if I keep building it and building it to be able to have it loose on the widest part of my arm, I'm just gonna have the sleeve here that is a little bit, that just way too loose. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it like this, and this is why when you freestyle your work like I do, you kind of decide how it looks as you continue working on your project. Anyway, so I have finished this. So I cut the yarn here, and I'm gonna do a slip knot here to kind of finish these off, just like that. So this is now my one of my sleeves is finished. Okay, so altogether what is completely done is the back panel, one of the front panel, and then the sleeve panel. So I still have to do a second sleeve panel, and I still have to do another front panel. And so with those two panels to go, I will go ahead and pack this away, and I'll go ahead and get started with the other two. So again, for the sleeve, repeat what you did for the first, and then for one of the front panels, repeat exactly what you did for the first. And then when you have all those 5 panels completed, come back to the video and we will go ahead and put it together so we can join it. Okay, let's see you guys then. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed all the panels that I wanted to do here. So I have 5 panels all together, and this is the body or the back panel that we started together and finished together. So this is it here, and then I went ahead and did 2 more panels for the front. So I have this one here, and then I have, which one is the other one? That one here. So I have the 2 front panels here. And then, of course, I went ahead and did the 2 panels for the sleeves as well, okay? So with all that done, we're going to now join everything. So I'll just take the 2 front panels or the 2 sleeve panels and put them away. And then I will go ahead and lay down the back panel like that. Now, this is where you determine what side you want to be your outside and what side you want to be your inside. Now, normally I just look at it and see, okay, is this side more cleaner? I will flip it to the other side. I'm like, okay, this side is looking a little bit different, but still nice and neat. But in this case here, I'm gonna choose this to be the inside of my sweater, okay? So to join, I'm gonna make sure that the side that I want to be the outside is facing down, and the side that I want to be the inside is facing up. And I'm gonna get my front panels and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So this is the side I want to be my outside. This is the side I want to be the inside. So in this case, I'm gonna place it like this. Yes, I'm gonna place it like this, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and take the second panel and I'm gonna do the same thing. So this is gonna be the good side here. So this is how they're gonna end up going onto the body, okay? So this is how we're gonna join it. Now, because I just want to make sure I'm doing it right here, because we're not joining it on this side, we're joining it on the opposite side. So what I will do is I will actually have to flip this like this, okay? So this is gonna actually be more the outside and the other side is the inside. And then when I place it like this is gonna make more sense now, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and place it like that. And then this one is gonna be placed right like this. Okay, now that makes sense. All right, so now that is nicely done and placed down like this, I'm going to go ahead and join the panels here. So I'm gonna join the front panel to the back panel right here, and I'm gonna do the same right here. Okay, so when that's done, we're gonna then join the sleeves. But first, let me show you how to join. And I'm just gonna start with this one here. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my yarn first. So we need to thread the darning needle because we need to be able to use the darning needle to join. So I'm just gonna take that tip here and I'm gonna put it into the hole of the darning needle. Okay, and then I'm gonna take as much as I want. I'm gonna cut somewhere here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna make sure I size it up so that it doesn't hang out too long. So I'm gonna pull it like this. Okay, so just something like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pick these up here, and I'm gonna join from here to there. If you're worried about how much yarn or how many rows you're doing for it to be exactly the same, I would count these blocks here, the solid parts, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, there's 8, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So I would place this right here, and then I would take a stitch marker and just kind of place it in that area. And then as I join here, I would know that when I get to the stitch marker, I need to stop. So I will do that right now. Okay, so now that you've lined it up like this, I'm just gonna go to the very top stitch here on this side, and then I'm gonna line it up to the top stitch on the other side. I'm gonna pull. Okay, and what I will do with this here is I will just do a couple of knots, maybe 1 or 2 knots, most likely 2 because it's more safer. I'm just gonna knot it, and then I'll do the second one like this. Okay, and then there's no stitches here, so we're just going to literally look at where it's good to just kind of put the next, and we're gonna go and pull that through. I will just bring this in with me as I go to weave it in. Okay, like that. Then I'm gonna go and just grab the next area right here. I'm gonna bring that through like that. Then I'm gonna go into the next area here, and again, as you can see, it's not as easy as going through stitches, so you're joining in the places that are not exactly stitches. Okay, then I go and just pull that through. Then I go into the next area here, bring that through, and then we'll go into the next area here. Again, you're just kind of trying to space it as much as you want so that it's not too clustered in the same area, but that is not too far apart either that it is going to be a gappy section. I normally say make sure you aim for where you would have aimed for stitches. So stitches, the spacing between stitches is the spacing that I would do even when I don't have stitches to join it with, like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and continue doing these all across to where the stitch marker is, and then when I finish that, I will move and do it on the other side. So I'll move the stitch marker and put it right here, count out 8 of these solid spaces, and on the 8th, on the inside one, you put a stitch marker there, and then you can sew from this area all the way to here, and then when that's finished, you will come back to the video. So by the time that you come back to the video, you would have joined your front panels to your back panel, and then we will go ahead and join the sleeves. Okay, so I'll see you guys when you've completed joining these 2 parts to the back panel. Okay, my lovelies, so I've gone ahead and joined both of the sleeves here, both of the front panels, not the sleeves yet. And as you can see, I'm just going to kind of move it around like this to loosen up the top here. I will do the same on this side, just kind of give it a little tug here and there just to loosen it up a little bit so it's not too rigid. And then when that's done, we're gonna go ahead and join the sleeves. And the way we're gonna join the sleeves is I'm just gonna take one of the sides here, and I'm gonna flip it down like this, and we're gonna bring one of the sleeves, whichever one, and we're going to join it like this. Okay, so what I will do is I will just fold it into a half like this. That way I kind of know where to join it from. Okay, and then when you have flipped it in half like this, where it is the middle on the other side, take that part, place it down on here, and then just make sure you slip stitch it to the middle of this section here. And that way you know that this is the middle, therefore you line it up so that you join from here to here, and then you will do the same on the other side. The other thing that you could have it guide you is count how many of these stitches, these solid parts across. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. So as long as you have 7 on this side, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So you're right in the middle here. Okay, and now that you have done that, you're just gonna flip your work like this, and you're gonna go from here, join from here to here, and then go across to the other side here. Okay, so I'll just take my darning needle again. It's already kind of have the yarn on, and then just line this section up to here, and then pull across, and then I will do a knot here just to knot this section. And again, I do about 2 knots just to make sure I am playing it right. And then what I will do is I'll just bring these 2 across as I join. So I'll go into the next stitch here. So one side has stitches and the other side doesn't. So you just kind of use the side that has the stitches to guide you through on exactly what the spacing is of how to join it. So I just line it up like this, and I go across to the other side. Then I go to the next stitch here, make sure I line it up to the other side, and I pull. And then you just do this all across, past the middle, all the way to the other side. And when you've done this, do the exact same thing on the other side, and then go ahead and finish joining it, and then come back to the video when you have joined all of them. Okay, so go ahead and do that. I will do the same on my end. When it's done, I'm gonna come back to the video, and then we will go ahead and go to the next part of the project. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and joined my sleeves to the sweater, and as you can see, this is where we joined here. Okay, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and join the sleeves, pretty much kind of closing these sections here. So the sleeve, closing it all the way here, getting to the armpit, and then going all the way down, and the other on the other side as well. Okay, so I'm not going to show you guys how to do that because this is the easiest part of it here. We're actually just lining up stitches, the stitches that line up very perfectly all across, all the way across the sleeve, the bottom of the sleeve here. And then when you get to here, you'll do a stitch in the middle, and then just line up your stitches on the other side, and then repeat it on the other side. And when all of that is done, you're gonna come back to the video, and we're gonna finish off we're gonna look at how it looks like when it's all joined. And then we're gonna work in the middle of the sweater. So there's this section in the middle here that we're gonna clean up a little bit. Okay, so go ahead and finish joining and come back when you've completed the joining. Okay, my lovelies, so I've gone ahead and joined everything that I needed to join. So as you can see, the sleeves are joined in the bottom here, and then the side is joined all the way down. The same thing on the other side. So all we have to do now is just clean up the middle part of our sweater here. And to do that, we're going to do my favorite outlining, which is the front post, back post double crochets. And we're gonna do that pretty much beginning from immediately, because as you can see, we already have our double crochets here. The only thing that we're gonna need to just kind of work around a little bit is this area here where we don't have definite stitches, but we can definitely work our way through that. Okay, so with that said, what I will do here is I will just kind of turn it to one of the sides here so I can start working on it. And I'm just gonna start from, let's say, the bottom here, and work my front post double crochets, back post double crochets until I get to the top, where we will then work that section that doesn't have stitches, and then turn around and go on the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a slip knot here. This is how we're gonna start, just like this. I'm just gonna leave that and pull it out. Then I'm gonna go into the stitch right here, and I'm gonna bring that through just like this. And we're still working on the wrong side, so we are not flipping our work to the good side yet. We're still working on the wrong side, and I'm just trying to get that through like this. And then we're gonna do a chain of 2, and this chain of 2 will count as your double crochet. Okay, And then, so this is aligned to this one here. So right away, I'm going to do my front post double crochet into this stitch right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a back post double crochet in the next stitch right here. And then we skip right to the next stitch and do a front post double crochet. And then a back post double crochet in the next. And then a front post double crochet, a back post double crochet, and then we just continue these all the way until we get to the top. So we're gonna go along the long side here until you get to here. So when you get to this section right here, whatever post you're gonna do on this stitch, come back, and then I will show you how to work around this section that doesn't have stitches here. Okay, I will see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I've just completed my first section here of the front post back post double crochet, and as you can see, I am at the corner of the back of the neck line here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of do, so what I would have normally done is just do a first row of double crochets to kind of clean this section up, and then begin the row of back post front post double crochets. But in this case here, I'm just going to try something that I've not done before. So as you can see right here, I did a back post double crochet. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go like this through this section here and complete a front post double crochet like that. And then I'm gonna go into this section here and do a back post double crochet. Oopsie, like this. And then I'm gonna go into here and complete a front post double crochet, and then a back post double crochet like this, and then a front post double crochet like this, and then a back post double crochet here, and I just continue to do this. So again, there's no stitches to work with here, so I'm just kind of going and completing these stitches in any gap that I can find, but without necessarily following any stitches. Okay, so just here I will go here, for example, and do a front post double crochet. Ooh, that was the front post, so the next one will be a back post double crochet like this, and then a front post double crochet will go here, and then a back post double crochet, and then a front post double crochet like here, and then a back post double crochet like here, and then we're gonna go ahead and do a front post double crochet right here, and then a back post double crochet right there. If I can go through, it's a little bit of a tighter space like that. And then now this is the corner here, so I'm gonna go into this and just do a front post double crochet right here, and then this is now a stitch, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a back post double crochet there. And then because I have the stitches now that are nice and clean for me to follow, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a front post, back post, and just alternate that all the way down. So this is how the back of the neckline is gonna look like, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna do this side all the way down, and I'm not gonna show you guys how to do the rest of the stitches. So you will do that all the way to here. So this stitch here will be either a front post double crochet or back post double crochet, depending on how it's gonna land. And then you will go ahead and do a double crochet on top of this stitch here, which is your last stitch, and then chain 2, turn, and then just follow the front post back post double crochet pattern, which is anything that kind of protrudes away from you, you do a back post double crochet. Anything that sticks out, for example here, anything that sticks out like this will be your front post double crochet. Anything that sticks away will be your back post double crochet. And you're gonna do as many rows as you need to have it look nice. So for me, I usually do between 5 and 6 rows of the front post back post double crochet, and then when all of that is done, I'm gonna come back to the video. I will also try it on as I go to make sure it looks good, and the moment that I think it looks nice and I don't need to do any more rows, I will stop there, and then I will weave in all the ends that I still have hanging. and then I'll come back to the video to show you guys the complete work, okay? So go ahead and complete this and then come back when you have finished everything. Okay, my lovelies, so I've gone ahead and completed working on the front of the sweater here. So as you can see, it looks very nice, and I did about 6 rows all together here. So it just kind of makes the front of the cardigan look really nice and kind of finished. And it's a nice kind of looking finish that kind of matches a lot with kind of, I don't know why I say kind of a lot, but it matches a little bit of how we did the body as well, because it has this like really textured look to it. I've gone ahead and weaved in all the ends as well, so everything that I needed to kind of weave in, everything is done and it's clean, and I flipped it to the side that I want to be the outside of my cardigan. And what I did too is, like, as you can see, I didn't do anything with the sleeves or the ending of the sleeves, the cap of the sleeves, because I think this look here looks really nice. It has this like weird bumpy end here because of the stitch that we did, and I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. And I did the same with the bottom. So the bottom is the same, where it just has this kind of like nice finish that I feel like I don't want to do the same stitch here on the sleeves or the bottom of the sweater. I think it looks nice like that, okay? All right, well, this is pretty much the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope you enjoy wearing your nice and comfy sweater, especially with the nice weather coming up. Hopefully that's gonna help you, so you can just put these on top of a t-shirt if you go out in the day as the spring comes along. Yeah, but this is finished here. I hope you guys will subscribe, comment, like, share, all the good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.